Hello, I'm Kimberlie Acosta, and welcome to the Native News Update. It's Friday, February 18th. Many of the stories you hear here can be found at our website, IndianCountryNews.com. And here's the news for the day from the Associated Press and other Native news sources. Several dozen Indigenous Panamanians armed with spears, sticks, and stones clashed with riot police February 18th, disrupting traffic on the Pan American Highway to protest recent changes to the country's mining law. Authorities said several police were wounded when the protests on the outskirts of Panama City turned ugly as they tried to clear the way for traffic across the bridge that had been occupied since dawn by members of the Ngobebule ethnic group. The indigenous groups have complained that the reform law, untouched since the 1960s, would spoil pristine rainforest areas and force Indian communities to relocate. Demonstrators confronted authorities with spears, arrows, shells, and rocks. Some 200 police responded with tear gas, causing panic and a brief stampede of onlookers nearby. Lawmakers last week approved the legislation aimed at attracting foreign investment to its mining industry despite opposition from students and indigenous groups. President Ricardo Martinelli and his supporters in the National Assembly argue that mining could be Panama's second largest source of income after fees from the Panama Canal. It is law with Martinelli's signature. Experts believe that there are 17 million tons of copper at the site, equivalent to 3 years of copper production in Chile, the world's largest copper producer. Companies based in Canada, South Korea, and Singapore have shown interest in investing. Martinelli went on television to insist that no mining, concession, or exploitation will be made in the district in any area of indigenous lands. Seattle policeman Ian Burke, who fatally shot First Nations woodcarver John T. Williams last summer, will not be criminally charged. Williams was shot on August 30th, 2010, while he was walking on a busy downtown street. Burke fired at Williams seconds after asking him to drop his carving knife. King County Prosecutor Dan Satterberg said that Burke was protected by state law because he did not act in bad faith or with malice. Meanwhile, Burke has quit the force. Police Chief John Diaz issued a statement saying Officer Ian Burke has communicated to me that his intent to resign his commission with the Seattle Police Department effectively at 4 p.m. Wednesday. An internal firearms review panel ruled the shooting unjustified and outside of policy, tactics, and training. A professional standards investigation will continue. Legislation seeking official recognition of Native American tribes in Kentucky has cleared a House committee in Frankfort, Kentucky. Louisville Representative Regional Meeks has steered the bill through the House before, only to watch it die in the Senate. Native Americans in Kentucky say state recognition of their tribes could enhance their lives. Georgetown Senator Damon Thayer has been one of the bill's most outspoken critics. He fears recognition of Native American tribes could lead to casinos in Kentucky. But Representative Meeks says the fears are unfounded. Meeks says that under Indian Gaming Regulatory Act, only federally recognized tribes can operate casinos, and only in states that permit gaming. Rez Radio Kopa 91.3 FM, the first radio station owned and operated by an Indian tribe in Southern California, went on air February 3rd. A commercial-free station that operates out of a small building behind the Pala Band of Mission Indians Administrative Center now broadcasts 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and streams live over the internet. It's a Class A FM station, the first to be approved by the federal commissions in about 20 years in Southern California. Although its broadcast range is small, its goals are large, to link the community culturally and during times of crisis. U.S. Senator Daniel Akaka announced that he has appointed Loretta Tuell to be the next Staff Director Chief Counsel for the Indian Affairs Committee. Tuell, who grew up on the Nez Perce Reservation, has worked closely with Senator Akaka on a number of issues regarding Native Americans, Alaska Natives, and Native Hawaiians. She is scheduled to officially begin her new position in early March. The Shinnecock Nation has entered into a partnership with Harvard University in order to find the best curriculum for the nation's planned early learning and daycare center. Harvard undergraduates and graduate students in the Native Americans in the 21st Century Nation Building 2 course will go on short-term field visits to the Shinnecock Reservation for research. The Harvard University Native American program, which works with university faculty on issues affecting the lives of Indigenous people, funds the course, which is offered through the Kennedy School of Government and the Graduate School of Education. Native Voices at the Autry continues its vital role as the country's only equity theater company dedicated exclusively to the developing work of Native American playwrights, with the world premiere main stage equity production of the Frybread Queen, which runs from March 12th through March 27th at the Wells Fargo Theater at the Autry National Center in Los Angeles, California. The Frybread Queen, written by playwright Carolyn Dunn, portrays 3 generations of strong, opinionated, passionate Native women bound by marriage and family ties who come together for a funeral of a beloved son, and in their grief confront long-simmering tensions and family secrets that threaten to tear them apart. The play addresses many of the challenges facing Native people across the country today, from the erosion of traditional values to the loss of family and tribe and ownership of belonging, elements that factor in the relationships of the women as they struggle to deal with their troubled situation. A 30-foot teepee towers over the 5th floor atrium in the Brooklyn Museum. The majestic structure is part of a new exhibition that focuses on the central role of the teepee in the lives of more than 30 tribes who once populated a large part of the North American plains from Canada to Texas. 3 full-size teepees are on view, along with more than 160 objects from the museum's collection of plains materials and a selection of works by contemporary plain artists. Tipi, Heritage of the Great Plains, opens February 18th and remains on view through May 15th. The 2010 Gathering of Nations Powwow, A Spirit's Dance, was a big winner at this year's Grammy Awards. The album won for Best Native American Music Album. Featuring 21 recorded tracks and 19 songs performed by 14 Native American drum groups from throughout North America, including Midnight Express, The Tribe, Buck Wild, Iyabe, Hale Creek, Cree Confederation, Headstone, Rocky Boy, Wild Band of Comanches, Nakota Nation, Mile High, Eagle Mountain, and Kozad. The CD is available for sale at gatheringofnations.com and downloads at iTunes. The next Gathering of Nations powwow is scheduled for April 29th through the 30th at the University of New Mexico in Albuquerque. And that's the latest roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. I'd like to thank you for joining me, and have a grand day.